Hey guys, just a short message I feel is important to share because it's being reflected back to me through hey Marley, through through two sisters and a brother of mine at the same day, and it's like they are being pulled back into um, old relationships. So exes, ex partners that are pulling and another had the mother pulling, um, and so people are pulling and trying to pull you into old patterns, old, but well they're well at least they're being pulled at, and I immediately knew what it was, and it's when there are shattered soul pieces, we've it's a holographic game we are in, but we do have the programs, and I discovered through doing the work, healing my organs. I discovered that they are in the element system. You can find them in the element systems and demagnetize them in a very easy way. Work through the programs, weave them to 0 point. But I've talked about that before. If you want to give it a try, go to my website and I offer it for free. It's a very simple way of demagnetizing yourself, the programs. And so the elements are connected to the organs, and the organs are connected to emotions, and the emotions are the triggers to magnetize. And once we balance them out, bring the feminine and the masculine energy back to oneness, you could say, the child feels safe, and a layer within a program demagnetizes, and but connected to the programs are the shattered soul pieces, because in the program we have the layers. We describe them as dimensions, past lifetimes, the holographic mind implants, which I do not uh, attach myself to anymore. Yeah, I talked about it before. I detach myself fully from it. But if you go to a program, it's for someone. Someone feels it, someone knows it, someone sees it, and but just observe. Do nothing with it. Just observe. Stay the observer. Don't identify. But there are also within those programs the soul pieces, and during trauma experiences, whether they truly happened or not, in a past life or in a galactic life, with someone, that can be your partner in this life, an ex-partner in this life, that can be your mother, your father, your brother, a friend, etc., a niece, a nephew, can be, the ones who entered your path, this reset. With the ones you have experienced traumatic moments, in those traumatic moments, soul pieces are shattered. And sometimes shattered soul pieces leave your field and enter the field of the one you have that shared trauma experience with. So that means that um, your soul pieces are still in that field of the other, if you have not yet brought them home. And so apparently that is going on now. So if you have soul pieces left in the field of others, I feel it's very important now to set the intent of bringing home all the soul pieces that are part of you and replace, don't leave an empty space, but replace it with the love of that person you're retrieving your soul piece from. So just make sure you do not leave that space in the other empty. Make sure you fill it up with not your love, because your love is your love. Not with your light. No, your golden source light is your light. You fill it up with the love of the other, with their self love. So they can feel that and they can release that soul piece. They don't have to live off your soul piece. Love, because because of that soul piece, you're connected, you could say, and they can feed off your love. But it's part of you. So it's just because so much came to me in one day, and so that's happening now. So that's very important, and I need to share that. And also, you, because there can only be a connection if there's something of the other in you also. So you have certain shattered soul pieces of the other. So you set the intent to release and bring the soul pieces that are not a part of you. You release them and bring them back to the rightful owner. And you fill that space up with your love and your source light. And you release it once and for all. And so you fully detach. And I got the question from a sister. Hi, Christine, from Iceland. Um, I I think you're okay with it that I mention your name, but she noticed that her mother. She's okay with it that I'm sharing this, but she noticed that her mother didn't want to let go of a soul piece. So she was defending it, but it was her soul piece she was bringing home, and that happened today, earlier today. So we talked about it, and I told her, that is why I'm sharing this now. Okay, of course, we cannot leave an empty space, so make sure you fill it up with her own self love, and don't fall into the trap, because um, she was there was reflected back to her through her mother. You could say the field of her mother was reflecting back to her that it was no, it was not hers anymore. It was the soul piece was now belonged to her mother. So, but that's bullshit, because it's trickster energy. It's your soul piece, and you're in charge. You're the boss. You're source. You're the magician. You're the healer. You know. So so I told her, fill up the space with her own self love, and then try it again. And yeah, and that worked. So it's important to do not leave an empty space. Fill it up with the love of the other. Their own self love. Yeah. So they can no longer pull you. Live of your light, live of your love, and so it seems it's very important to do now, because it's going around. I have a very happy dog, Tonia. She's circling on the ground. So I felt like sharing that. Yeah, know that you can do it. Just set the intent, speak it out, and don't make a big fuss out of it. Just know, it's gonna sit. I'm gonna do this, Oh yeah, and she asked me, the same sister asked me, how do I know, when a soul piece is home? I can, I'm a seer, so I see it, but you can also feel it, and sometimes it's very how you call it, I hate that word in English, but well, subtle. Well, you know what I mean. It's very, tiny, but it's there, and well, the soul to me, the soul is part of this game also. The soul is part of this matrix. It's your source, consciousness, awareness. That's your essence. You know, the rest is all matrix. And the soul pieces enter um, through the organ, through the element system, where it's where the program resides, you could say. So you have the element landscape within. The elements are connected to the organs. The organs are connected to emotions, etc. And in the organs there, or you can find the programs. So it depends. So you can, if you are aware of that and you observe, you can feel it in one of your organs. You can feel your skin. Your skin is also an organ. You can feel your skin. You have more space suddenly in your skin. You had pain before in your liver, for example, and suddenly the pain in the liver is, uh, less or gone. Um, you are trying to let go of something, a lost one, or an ex relationship, or whatever, a friend, and suddenly you just, you manage to fully detach and let go. Or there was this constant frustration or anger inside of you, and suddenly it's just, it's calm and it's peace. So it can be very, I'm not going to, it can be very small, the change, but it depends on what program is the soul piece connected to. So, and in what organ resides that program. So if anger suddenly disappears, or frustration, the soul piece was part of a program within the liver, the organ liver. And now the program, now that soul piece is home, it can finally demagnetize. That's the relief. It finds peace in the 0 point, you could say, within that organ. Yeah. And then a frequency is, starts vibrating again and starts connecting to your source, your own source within. So that's the best way to describe it. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. But it's going around in this moment. So it's like AI is trying to pull on you through, well, soul pieces that are not home yet. Soul pieces of you that are still somewhere else, or soul pieces of them that are still, in your field. Yeah. Well, that's it for today. Felt like sharing that. You got this. Bye for now.